What's up, guys? Ted from Immersion here, and I'm back with another Unearthed Arcana review. It's Monday, so that means the first Monday of the month, so that means another Unearthed Arcana. This time, we always are hoping for class stuff, and I'll agree, 9 times out of 10, that's me. I want new class, subclasses stuff, I want new feats, I want new races. That's the kind of stuff that myself mostly wants, because I play a lot of D&D, not as much as I'd like to, but I also don't recognize that I don't have the time. But when you play a lot of D&D and you make a lot of characters and you make a character building show and you play with a bunch of other people also playing characters, you start to get a little bit burnt out, so you want to have more stuff. But sometimes they throw us cool new mechanics, downtime, things like that. And this Unearthed Arcana, the 3-pillar experience, I wasn't planning on it like this being something we'd get, but I love this. Like, I am so excited about this Unearthed Arcana. And maybe I'm in the minority, and you know what? If I am, that's fine. But I'm just so pumped about this, because I think it's going to breathe life into a section of the game that newbie DMs and veteran DMs alike sometimes have trouble with how to go about doing it. So basically, this is a new way to deal with experience points in the game, and how to make your experience points focus heavily on the 3 pillars of adventuring. Those pillars are exploration, social interaction, and combat. I think in any D&D game, regardless of whether it's roleplay focused or combat focused, combat is something that's relatively easy to determine how you hand out experience. You have a challenge rating of a monster, the monster has experience listed to it next to the challenge rating. The players beat said monster, you take that experience, you divide it by the number of players, and you hand it out to them. But if you go through several sessions where you say have only conversations in a town, you have the party searching to find some lost hidden item, it could potentially be difficult to figure out how to give them experience. And this does a way to remedy that, but also is a complete overhaul of the experience system we have. Drastic changes, numbers are much less, we're not going into the thousands or millions of experience. And as you can tell, I'm very animated about this, I am very excited. I think I'm going to actually be playing my homebrew campaign that's starting in a couple weeks here, using this system only. So, alternative way to do experience, essentially every 100 XP, the characters gain a level. And the way that being said, is things give you significantly less experience. If 100 XP is a level, obviously you're not going to fight a monster that gives you 400. You jump up 4 levels. So awards are relative to character's level, but I like it also because eventually if you start beating weaker monsters as a higher level character, you're not going to have that South Park, wow, let's stay in the forest killing boars and constantly gain experience. This is something we had in older editions too, where eventually, like right now, if you're a level 19 character and you kill like a wolf, you're still going to get that 50 experience. This kind of changes it so that eventually you don't get XP for killing weaker things, and I kind of like that. Sort of makes sense. It's beyond your challenge rating. You're too powerful, it's kind of a pittance to you. But that also makes potentially battles with a lot of lower level enemies more satisfying for you as the DM, but less satisfying for the players because they're not getting anything for it. But let's talk through it. So these rules use 100 XP as the baseline. Doing so makes it less easy to access the benefit of an XP award. For example, earning 20 XP earns you 20% of a level, and so on. For DMs and players, the intent is to make it much easier to understand the risk and rewards in adventure. One thing in mind is that this advancement rate of rules is different from the what's presented in the core game. You jump up from levels 1 to 3 relatively quickly. Gaining levels. Under this system, you gain a level each time you accumulate 100 XP. When you cross that threshold and increase your character's level, you reduce your current XP total by 100. So typically that would mean if you just hit 100, you reset back to 0. But if you say, what pushed you over 100, pushed you to 150, you're now at 50. So, dividing XP. Under the system, it's not usually divided among party members. The reward for an adventure is the same for all members of the party. If defeating a monster awards 10 XP, each member in the party gets 10 XP. If the party is exceptionally large, though the notion of safety in numbers makes awards a little easier to earn, if there are more than 6 members of a party eligible to earn XP, have all the rewards. So again, focusing on 3 pillars: exploration, social interaction, and combat. So let's talk about the exploration side of things. I also like this article because it's only 2 pages. There's not a lot to read for me to do a video on. So you gain XP for recovering lost magic items, claiming hidden treasure caches, exploring abandoned sites, or places of power. This is exciting to me because I actually put in my new homebrew campaign essentially those things. Doing things to explore. You find stuff I kind of pulled from MMO experience. Like you go and you see and witness this thing, and that gives you an experience. And I was going to try to build an experience reward around that, but I was going to have to scale it. Now I don't have to. Your character can gain experience points by retrieving a mighty weapon from a dragon's hoard, stealing a diamond from an evil baron, and uncovering the location of a lost temple of evil. The value of the location or item compared to your level is your XP value. Finding a treasure or exploring a location appropriate to your tier earns you 10 XP, plus an additional 10 XP for each tier above your current tier. You don't gain XP for exploration below your tier. So if this is something that's like way harder and you get to it earlier and you're tier 1 and it's a tier 4 thing, you'd get 10 XP plus an additional 30 for each tier above for 40 XP total. But if it's a high level, if you're high level and it's a weaker thing, you don't get the experience for the exploration, you still just get whatever the reward of it is. So items, valuable, treasures, and magic items are assigned tiers as follow. Tier 1, a single item worth 100 gold or more, or a non-consumable rare magic item. Tier 2, 1,000 gold pieces or more, or a non-consumable very rare magic item. Tier 4, a single item worth 5,000 XP or more, a consumable legendary, or non-consumable legendary magic item. And Tier 4 is a 50,000 gold P or more, or an artifact. Locations. Forgotten locations and sites of power aren't fitted to tiers by any hard and fast rule, rather a location tier depends on its importance in your campaign. You can measure the discovery of a lost location, liberation of a place from the clutches of a villain or monster, by the scope of such actions impacts. Tier 1, a location important to a small town or village. Tier 2, a location vital to a kingdom. Tier 3, a location important across a world. And Tier 4, a location of cosmic importance. So now we're going to go on to the social interaction side of things, the role-playing and things of that nature. So, you gain experience for turning NPCs into allies, aligning them with your cause or denying them to an enemy, things of that nature. You gain 10 XP for swinging an NPC appropriate to your tier, plus an additional 10 XP for each tier above your current one. You gain 5 XP for affecting an NPC 1 tier below you, but you gain no XP for anything that's 2 tiers below you. So the tiers are NPC 1, or Tier 1, an NPC with influence over a small town or village. Tier 2 is NPC influence over a city or an equivalent. 3 is influence over a kingdom or continent. And 4 is with cosmic significance or a deity or influence across multiple worlds. And then lastly, for combat, you gain XP for defeating monsters in combat, whether slaying them or leaving them in a state in which they no longer pose a threat. For example, you might force a demon back to the abyss or imprison an undead horror in a sealed tomb. The XP you gain for defeating a monster is determined by comparing the monster's challenge rating to your level. In most cases, you gain 5 XP per monster defeated. That award increases to 15 XP if a monster's challenge rating is twice your level or more. So if you're, by that token, if you're level 10, and you fight a CR 20 monster, which is twice your level or more, twice your level, you would get 15 XP for defeating it, not 5. Remember, that doesn't seem like a lot, but 100 is a level, so 15 XP is pretty good. If its challenge rating is half your level or less, that award drops to 2 XP. So you do still get XP, just at a significantly slower rate. You could essentially stay in the forest killing boars, but it's gonna take you a long time. And then lastly, we have a little outro. Focusing on pillars. As a DM, if your campaign focuses on just 1 or 2 of the 3 pillars, you'll simply grant XP awards for those pillars. However, if you eliminate any pillars, meaning you won't have them at all, you'll want to be sure the players have plenty of opportunities to find successes in challenges making use of the other pillars. Alternatively, you consider increasing the XP awards for the pillars you do use. Increasing the award of the 2 remaining pillars by 50% is a good way to account for losing a single pillar. If you use only 1 pillar, consider tripling its reward. So if you're in only combat, each monster would give you 15 XP, and defeating a monster that was twice the challenge rating is twice your level, you get 45. So you'd be almost halfway to a level by beating that one monster, which sort of makes sense. So, anyway, guys, that's my very quick walkthrough of this new Unearthed Arcana called the 3-Pillar XP. Let me know what you guys think. I want to know your thoughts, because I love this. I think this is great. I think this is simpler by a long shot. I also think it's easier for newer players to understand if you're not trying to deal with thousands of experience or millions of experience, only hundreds, or 100 really at most at a time, typically. But it also is nice to have a cool, easy way, not some sort of DM fiat or a kind of random conversation you have with somebody of how social interaction works to get experience for dealing with NPCs, but also a cool way to deal with just exploring and visiting cool things in the world, or taking things or finding things and using that to gain XP that way. I think this is great. Like I said, I'm going to try to use it in my new homebrew campaign that'll be starting in a couple weeks to see how it goes. I don't know if it's going to work for me, but I'm going to try it at the start, and if things change, but we'll see how things go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in a month for another Unearthed Arcana review, but be sure to come back and see what other videos are coming out on the channel during the week. Hope you have a good one, guys. I'll see you next time.